For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I recently went to Morocco. Private toilet. My mom and I and her friend went on a trip with a tour group because it is, as we later found out or confirmed, a little bit difficult to travel in Morocco alone as women. Our first stop was Casablanca, and when I say I recently went, I meant early in the summer versus later in the summer at the time that I am recording this. So since coming back, I've had a lot of different life changes, and we've also been doing a lot of celebration of various events, and somehow I just haven't had time to sit down and look at this footage. This trip also took a lot more to digest than any other trips that we've been on. After visiting the mosque, we walked to Rick's Cafe. It is totally walkable. Oh,
another video. Okay,
thank you. Oh, sorry.
I just now have to find
I have not seen Casablanca yet. That was the theme of this cafe, and I had it on my list of things to do this summer and haven't gotten along to it, but I'm sure it will still be there. Even without having seen the movie, the way that this restaurant was themed was amazing. They paid so much attention to detail, the interior looked great, and the staff were super friendly, and the food was really good. We originally were going to go to the restaurant the evening before, which was the day that we landed in Morocco, but we were really tired, and after having some snacks at the hotel, we just decided to wait till the next day. And we had made reservations, but they were pretty flexible, and we were able to walk in right when they opened the following day. So I think it worked out a lot better this way because seeing all the decor in daylight was really nice. Just almost got scammed by a taxi driver, so now we're walking. Made us get out of their car after we refused to pay the 3 times the asking or regular asking price. So we got 1 konnichiwa and 3 ni haos. That was me keeping count of the merchants trying to get our attention by shouting various Asian greetings at us. In terms of walkability, the walk from the mosque to the cafe was totally safe, and the cafe back to the hotel was maybe like 15-20 minutes. It wasn't too bad, but there's a lot of crosswalks that aren't really crosswalks, and with the fenced off area, it's kind of hard to find a place to just really enter, and I think they put a gate around certain buildings, so it makes it actually harder for people to get in, I think for security reasons, but here we are trying to figure out how to get back to the hotel to check out so we can make it to the next city in time. So this is the view of Casablanca from our hotel room. It was definitely relatively underwhelming. There's not that much going on here, honestly. There's like local medinas, there's mosques, and there's going to the beach. But that's kind of it. And it's honestly pretty dirty, so not quite what we expected, but hopefully the rest of this trip we'll get to see more nature. I find it really funny looking back at the footage that I immediately cut to a mall. So there's a Gongcha, and then there's a Dunkin' Donuts, and then there's a gym. So there's like a barbell but no rack, cable machine, dumbbells, kind of the same machines we had access to yesterday, so it's decent. And also there's a foam roller. Compared to my expectations, the availability of gym equipment really wasn't that bad. Every time that the hotel we were staying at had a decent set of dumbbells or some good machines, I would just do some sort of circuit, and that's just more efficient. I'm not using heavy weights. I'm really just doing this to move around and not be stiff, because often we would have either walked for many hours that day or sat in a bus for many hours, and this was just a get some movement in and sweat out a little bit. Time for myself, and just to try to maintain a little bit of the muscle that I for sure am losing by going on a 2-week plus long trip. I have done this type of circuit style training on so many different types of equipment and so many different conditions. Mostly the hotel barbells are super slippery and I just feel so weak, and I don't know if it's because it's like I'm so jet lagged or I'm so under eaten, or I've been just doing way too much cardio because I'm getting way more steps than usual. I don't know what it is, but I always feel weaker during these trips. For example, I'm pretty confident I can row more than what looks like to be like 95 pounds, but at this point I'm just making sure I don't get hurt, and I'm just trying to get a little bit of strength training in. And because with these types of trips you also don't know when you'll have good access to equipment next, so sometimes the hotels that we're staying at have just maybe some cardio equipment, or sometimes the hours are terrible, and because you're out doing things all day, by the time you get back to the hotel, the gym's already closed, so it's kind of just uncertain. And when there is a good gym, I'll actually take the time to record, for example, and show you some exercises that I do. Another thing about these hotel workouts is it might be because I'm going usually around 9 or 10 p.m. when the activities of the day have wrapped up, but there's usually no one there, and so it's actually really nice. Like, you don't really have to worry about any weirdos, or if anything, it's a there's no one there kind of dangerous situation. But in this particular hotel, there was a bar like right next door to the gym, and the security was pacing around, so I felt pretty safe. We began our first day of the city tour. This is the Mohammed VI Tower in Rabat.
可以睡觉，我会等你等到你回来，我才睡觉。
I'm 老小孩。
老小孩，没有，正好这个那时候我觉得你讲，
我看这个形状，一直觉得那个药可以塞到屁股。
哦，
One foot is nervous.
Yeah.
The other one is very quiet. In Morocco,
The architecture was really breathtaking, and we were lucky enough to get there before they closed the mausoleum for a private event. I'll probably end up making at least a second part of this Morocco trip because we did get to see very different cities and we did get to go to really different landmarks. There were some really beautiful buildings, but also I noticed that a lot of the streets are kind of dirty because half of my Morocco footage is stray kitties on the street, and it was just really sad because I would take a picture of a cute kitty and then realize that it is on like super dirty floor, so I never shared those pictures because it's like I don't want to just upload lots of pictures of the dirty floor, but I have so many cute cat photos. This trip really solidified for me how important it is to have travel buddies, and honestly, take your parents and go on trips with them because it is really fun and you want to do it while both of y'all are still mobile. But really, my mom is a blast to be around, so I think I'm just extra lucky. We've made it to Tangier. All of the showers so far have had no curtains or doors. And there's a nice view. So I noticed that this passageway, there's pedestrians going in and out, there's vehicles going in and out, and they didn't really have ways to signify if it was traffic going both directions. So I was just waiting to see if a car really could go through, and a car did pass through as a person walked the other direction. So that was interesting. Meow. Yeah, we missed the bazaar. So part of the culture shock for us was going to these various medinas, and before our trip we had read up and looked into medinas, and we thought they were kind of similar to maybe bazaars. There's like shops and there's things to see, and there definitely were things to see. Meow. Meow. There were also things to smell. It's very similar to a wet market, and the floors are also really wet, so it's a little difficult to walk on and navigate, but all the cool cultural stuff is in the Medina. We are on hour 4 of our walking tour, and I've run out of water. I'm really, really thirsty and hungry. Melange.
Here, the first point of Africa, Europe, Straits of Gibraltar, Mediterranean oceans, like 680 kilometers, Mediterranean 3,500 kilometers, Atlantic.
We visited the Cape of Hercules briefly. It was really hard to get good footage of it based on the lighting. Then we hung out at the beach for a while, watched some people sell camel rides, which we did later on in the trip. Thanks so much for watching part 1 of my Morocco trip, and I will be back with part 2 hopefully before summer ends.